discretion is advised. The following episode of Scary Perry contains graphic descriptions, disturbing subject matter, and real-life accounts of violence, crime, and trauma. These stories may be unsettling and are not suitable for children or viewers who are sensitive to graphic content. The content presented is for educational and discussion purposes only. We do not glorify violence, nor do we intend to exploit the victims involved. Listener discretion is strongly advised. If you choose to continue, brace yourself.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Scary Perry podcast, the show where we dig into the stories that make you question humanity, power, and just how far manipulation can really go. I'm your host, Parre T, along with
your girl Mylah B.
And the B stand for about to be breaking down cults. And tonight, we're starting the very first episode of our High-Profile Cult Leaders Miniseries. So, Mylah, let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever heard someone say, don't drink the Kool-Aid?
Nope.
You said no?
No.
You never heard nobody say, don't drink the Kool-Aid?
Mm-mm.
Well, most people say it jokingly, but the phrase comes from one of the darkest tragedies in modern history. Tonight's story is about the man behind it. He was a preacher, a manipulator, a man who convinced over 900 people to follow him to their deaths. Tonight, we're talking about Jim Jones. And no, not the balling Jim Jones. Not him. Nowhere near him. Okay? Trust me. This story starts strange. It gets disturbing. It ends in a way that still shocks the world nearly 50 years later. So, get comfortable, turn down your lights, because this one is Scary Perry approved. Come on, Molly, do it. It's Scary Perry. Hang on. I got a sound. Where is he at? Scary Perry. Ah! Oh, you really turned down your light for real?
Wait.
I'm scared of you. You gonna listen to this story in the dark? That's scary. Scary. Okay, so segment 1. The strange kid who wanted power. So Jim Jones was born in 1931 in rural Indiana. Now, growing up, he wasn't exactly the most popular kid in town. In fact, neighbors later described him as odd, intense, and obsessed with religion. But here's where things start getting weird. Jones would hold funerals for dead animals as a kid. Yes,
What's wrong with that?
funerals for funerals for animals. It was a little weird because he would gather neighborhood kids and preach over the body and conduct full burial ceremonies.
Are you not supposed to
Okay,
do that?
no, for animals, Mylah, that aren't yours.
How you know they're not his?
Hey, now listen. Now listen, they said Jim Jones was he grew up in rural Indiana and he wasn't the most popular kid in town. He probably was a little bit of, little poor. And he was obsessed with religion. Which I feel like there's nothing wrong with being obsessed with religion. If you want to go praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Yes, I'm for that. If you want to be a preacher, be a preacher. I'm okay with
But
that. But
still, what's wrong with
what's wrong?
having funerals for animals?
He just so it's odd because as a kid, you don't expect a kid to be invested in death like how he was invested in death. You see what I'm saying?
I feel like you're judging
So,
because I was right
so
along with him.
I'm not. I think you just want to play devil's advocate with this one,
Hey,
and I think you just want to banter with me
I'm just
because
saying because I feel
because.
like you're judging me because that's what I did.
So you hold on.
The fuck? What are you talking about? What?
All right. So
What,
listen,
Terry?
listen. Some kids played with action figures. Some kids played with video games. Jim Jones was out here practicing sermons over dead cats. That wasn't his.
You don't know that.
That's concerning.
Okay, whatever.
That's
Now
concerning.
I was concerned.
But here's what. All right. But all right.
Proceed.
Since we're here, by the way, come to the podcast convention this Wednesday and get your PRP glass.
This
All
Wednesday?
right. Sunday. This Sunday. I'm sorry, it threw me off because I didn't know that you like giving funerals to dead cats. There.
Not just cats. I'm allergic to fucking cats.
All right. Don't be mad at me because you want to Jim Jones the cats. Like, my bad. All right. But here's what made him dangerous. Jim Jones had something many cult leaders have: charisma. And charisma can be powerful, especially when mixed with people who are unavailable. Or, I'm sorry, not unavailable. I'm reading that too fast. Charisma can be powerful, especially when mixed with people who are vulnerable. So let's fast forward a little bit. We're going to fast forward, and by a little bit, I mean more like 20 years. So fast forward to the 1950s, Jones starts a church called the People's Temple. At first, it actually looked like something good. He preached racial equality during a time when America was deeply segregated. Black and white members worshiped together. And during the civil rights era, that made Jim Jones look like a hero. People admired him, respected him, trusted him. But behind the scenes, Jones was building something else, not a church, more like a cult. Now, let me pause here and ask you something because this is important. So think about it. How does someone convince hundreds of people to give up their homes, their money, their freedom? How do you think that happens?
Money.
Hmm?
Money.
So, okay, so them giving up. So, how does someone convince hundreds of people to give up their homes, their money, their freedom? How, like, what would convince you to give up your home, your money, your freedom? All right, Space Buns, what's gonna convince you?
You really want to know?
Go ahead. It's a safe space. Go ahead.
Some good ping ping. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. No, unclock that. How about that? Never mind. Don't clock
Unclock
that.
that.
That's horrible.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm hearing is that basically slow manipulation. Give or take.
If that comes with the ping, yeah, I guess.
All right.
Don't
All
say
right.
it like that.
All right. So cult leaders, they don't start by saying, "Hey, join my cult. Please join it." No, they don't start off by saying that because, of course, that's too
I would do that.
easy. What?
What? I would. Okay. I guess you just laugh at Mylah dead because I'm dead ass serious. Okay.
Oh God. Okay. So, um, to be 100% candid with you, Myla, that's not going to work. And the reason why it's not going to work is because cults are associated with something bad, right? So if you walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, you right there, join my cult."
No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say join my social club. Right. Okay.
This is not strong enough.
What did I do?
It's okay. It's okay.
So
I'm not mad at it.
you wouldn't join my social club if you didn't know me?
I would not. I would not join your social club. I would not.
So
But
let me ask you something.
Yes.
The club at Longview, you was
Was
trying to
not
get
okay.
people.
Hold on. Hold on. I started okay because now you playing me. I started a social organization for the Black people on the Longview campus because
That could have
Longview is a
turned into a
predominantly white.
cult.
Because it did not turn into
I
a
said it
cult. Do
could have.
not put that jacket on
I
me,
said
and
it
it
could
could not
have.
have turned into a cult. Don't do me like that in front of these people. You better unclock that and quit trying to play me in front of this live on with these people.
Okay, never mind.
All right, I have content to get through.
Okay,
Unclock it.
I didn't clock it to begin with.
All right. Now,
Jeez.
like I was saying, they don't start with "Can I join your cult?" They start by saying, "I can help you." So a lot of the times, cult leaders prey on vulnerable people and they identify a need. You're poor, you need money. Here, if you join our community, we can give you a stipend of $300, $400, $500, $600 a week. Or you need food, we volunteer or come with our cult, volunteer, come live in our compound. You can have food, you can have a place to live. Cult leaders fixate on a need and they give it. You need love, they give it to you. You need care, they give it to you. That's what cult leaders do. So Jim Jones, let me show you how the manipulation began. Jim Jones, and again, this ain't the ballin' Jim Jones. This is the other Jim Jones. He convinced followers that he had special powers. He claimed he could heal diseases, read minds, predict the future, and during church services, he would perform miracles. People in wheelchairs suddenly stood up. Members claimed their cancer disappeared. But later, investigations revealed many of those miracles were staged. Yes, staged. Actors. Fake medical records, pre planned performances. Jim Jones was basically running a spiritual magic show. Go ahead.
That's what they be showing on commercials.
Yes,
When you up at
the
2 in the
miracle
morning,
spring,
and
the
they be
miracle
like,
spring water.
if you sprinkle the water, you
Uh-huh.
gonna magically be healed.
You gonna
I be seeing that
magically
at 3
be
in the
here,
morning.
or you see that 3 in the morning, or you see them say if you drink that miracle spring water for 30 days, your bank
First
account
off,
is gonna
spring
have
water's not even good for you.
$60,000 in there, huh?
Spring water's not even good for you. But okay, whatever.
That's what I heard. But here, what's up, Dolo, in the comments? Thanks for tapping in. We appreciate you. So Jim Jones was basically running a spiritual magic show, but the audience believed it. And the more people believed, the more power he gained. So, of course, with the more power he gained, the bigger his head got. While we're here, Mylah, do you know what Jim Jones looks like?
No. I said, what? I don't know what he looked like.
Can you see him on the screen? You can't see the screen?
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought
So this is
Jim
what
Jones was African American.
he was not. Well, there is the African American Jim Jones. That's the one that be like, "We fly high, no lie,
Hey.
you know this." Ballin', that's that one. This is different. This is different. Shout out to the spotlight. This is different.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. As the People's Temple grew, so the People's Temple, that's the name of his church and the name of his cult. So as the People's Temple grew, Jones started tightening control. Sorry, I stapled this at the wrong corner. So his followers, they had to donate their paychecks, cut off family members, and work long hours for the church. So let me ask you this. Hear me out.
Period.
Don't be mad at me. But let me just ask you this. Somebody told you in order to stay a part of their little family, their little cult or whatever, you have to donate your paycheck. You doing that?
No.
Okay. At that point, are you going to recognize like something's not right here? Because why do I have to donate my check?
I mean, let me shut up. I was finna say something.
What?
Ain't aren't you donating your check to churches when you give 10%?
That's offering.
Aren't you donating your
Um,
check?
you're donating a portion of your check. So he was requiring for people to donate all of their check, like donate their whole paycheck. So when you give offering in church or you give tithes in church, that's giving God back a portion of what was blessed to you. This man was wanting people to give him, not the church, him their whole check.
And you wanna know what's funny?
What?
He sounds like one of them niggas that get it off your chest podcast be talking about them bum ass niggas. That's what he sound like.
That's what he sound like, but to me, he sounds like a master manipulator.
That
He
be them bum
sounds
ass
like,
niggas. Master
oh my
manipulators.
goodness. And not only did he ask for their whole check, so not only are they asking for the whole check, but he's also asking them cut off family members. And these were family members that didn't believe in his cult. They didn't believe in his message. So if sorry, I was trying to take care of my computer like glitched. So if you didn't agree, if your family member didn't agree with what he was teaching you, he would tell you, cut off that family member. And because you were so weak-willed and you weren't that strong family member, guess what you were doing?
Cut
It
off.
ain't nothing to cut that off. Like you was cutting them off. And then not only that, not only did he have you cut them off, but now you working long hours for the church. I cannot find my lip gloss. Working long hours for the church. So you ain't got no
Getting
money
the
because
church's
you
money.
donated your. What you doing? Selling the money?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got no money because you're donating it to the to him. You have no family because your family tried to talk some sense into you, but you didn't want to listen. So he told you to cut him off, and you did. And now you're working long hours for the church. Some members even signed over their homes and property. Jones also began using public humiliation. So if someone questioned him, they were punished in front of everyone, sometimes verbally, sometimes physically, and slowly. The church turned into something darker. People weren't just followers anymore, they were prisoners of belief, which was crazy work. I don't think I could do that. But then again, I I don't think my mind would allow me to. So I question everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I question everything. So my whole thing when I'm reading the backstory of this and when I'm trying to understand this from a perspective or cult perspective uh standpoint, my whole thing is didn't nobody question this man? Didn't nobody question intentions? Or didn't
I
nobody
mean,
think like something ain't right?
I'm pretty sure he gave them the feeling of being safe and secure to the point where they
Mm,
didn't want to question it.
that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes a lot of
Because
sense.
once somebody puts you in a secure spot, you're just like, oh, well, they're not gonna let nothing happen to me. They know what's best for me.
Got you. Got
Mm-hmm.
you. That makes a lot of sense. And from what I've been doing my research with cult leaders give you that sense of security. Remember I said at the beginning if they identify the need, they're going to supply you the need. And if that need is wanting to feel safe and secure, I guess it would be their job to supply that feeling of safe and security. So that makes sense. That makes sense. So by 1970s, journalists started investigating Jim Jones. Stories about abuse, manipulation, and financial fraud began surfacing. So what did Jones do? He ran. He moved his followers to a remote jungle settlement in Ghana, South America. Let's take a look at this compound. I know you probably can't see it, Mylah, but for those of you guys who are looking, this is the compound in Ghana and I'm sorry, that's not Ghana, Guyana, South America. They named this compound Jonestown, and he sold it as a paradise, a utopia, a place free of racism, capitalism, and oppression. But the reality, Jonestown was a nightmare. Oh, it was such a horrible place. Members worked 12-hour days in brutal heat, and food was scarce. Armed guards surrounded the camp, and loudspeakers constantly blasted Jim Jones' voice day and night. Yes, even while people slept. Imagine that. You finally fall asleep, and suddenly you hear your cult leader giving a 3-hour political speech at 3 a.m. That alone would make me want to pack my bags. But the problem was no one was allowed to leave. So once they got over there to Guyana, South America, nobody was allowed to leave there because it was the intent where if you're going to be in this cult, you're here, you're ride or die. So now, my question to you, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
My question to you is, would you have made that move? Okay, so let's say you were a part of the cult, right, before they moved. Would you have made that move to Guyana, South America?
No.
I think I honestly, now I can't say for sure, but honestly, I think once we got to the point of talking about moving to another country, that's when I would turn in my hat. I'll be like, thank you, but no thank you. I'm gonna gracefully bow out of this one.
So, do you think, what was the town name?
The town's name was called Jonestown.
You think the town in Arkansas could be related? Jonesboro, or whatever the hell you say it.
Jonesboro? No. No, I don't think it's related at all. Because Jonestown was done over in South America, in Guyana, South America. It never had the opportunity to be a town in the United States. So no, I don't think there's no relation. So let's talk about now. Do you want to do paratisments right now, or do you want to dive into when Congressman Leo Ryan arrived?
We can do paratisments.
Alrighty. It is my favorite time of the evening. It is time for some paratisments. For those of you guys who are new here, paratisments are advertisements done parapy style for events done in the Kansas City area. Let's take a look and see what we got. We got the Couch Fest hosted by Smurf Turf of the Couch Talk podcast. He is booking for artists to perform on his at his Couch Fest. So you can reach out to Marcus Jefferson on Facebook to secure your spot to perform as an artist at the Couch Fest. I'm waiting for the paratisments to come off so you guys can see the date. Jesus. There we go. Okay. They are booking now for artists. The Couch Fest will be Sunday, April 19th at 6 p.m. Again, you can reach out to Marcus Jefferson on Facebook so you can secure your spot. I want to give a shout out to Knucklehead Clothing. He is the proud sponsor of the Parre T Management family as far as podcasts and vendor spots, things like that. You can get your Knucklehead Clothing at www.knuckleheadclothing.com. Again, that is www.NAKOOLHEAD clothing.com. He has hats, t-shirts, sweatsuits. Reach out to Knucklehead Clothing. You can reach him at Naron Jones on Facebook, or you can go to the Knucklehead Clothing page. Alrighty, let's see. What other things do we have? This Sunday, one of my favorite events of the year, the Kansas City Podcast Convention #5, hosted by the Get It Off Your Chest podcast and the Everybody Loves Ross podcast. You'll see people like Knucklehead Clothing there, Jessica Loves Edibles, Popular Ignorance, One Bite Pizza, Creative Treasures, Funny as It Gets, Misadventures of Sneed, DJ Sleepy Beats, Parre, Slayed by Jiggly, the Real Talk podcast, and Fatty Foods will be in the building. One in a Million will be in the building. And Treat Me Crazy will be a part of the Parre podcast booth. So definitely come out to that and enjoy yourself. Have a wonderful time. Tickets at the door are $10. Let's see. What other things can we say about the podcast convention, Mylah?
I don't know.
Meet us there, don't meet us there. Yeah.
No, even if you don't beat us there, still meet us there. What the hell?
Yeah, even if you don't meet us there, still meet us there and come out, have a good time, network, and enjoy yourself being in a good company with people and friends and family in a friend family like, or not even family like, in a friendly like environment. Just come out, have a good time, network. Artists, this is your time to network with the local podcast. Oh, Parre T Management will also be there doing free 15-minute consultations. Usually we charge $30 per hour with the consultation. So this will be your time to get your free 15-minute consultation in and see what you need as an artist as far as management. Alrighty, this is our Scary Parre podcast cult-like series. We'll be doing this for the next few weeks. The Parre T Management family is in need of sponsors. The Misadventures of Sneed, Scary Parre podcast, Parre T Management, Pear Bear Child Care, Parre podcast, and Popular Ignorance podcast. We are all in need of sponsors. You can reach out to me, Parre T, to get set up with a sponsorship package. You can reach out to me on Facebook at Parre Thompson, or you can reach out to me on Instagram at Parre T Management _. Last but not least, the Parre podcast. We are diving into our new 3-part series on how we love. We did episode 1 yesterday, and then episode 2 will be next week. We are diving in as to why some people clean and others run. So definitely tune into that. And here is the menu, the Treat Me Crazy menu and prices for the podcast convention. We'll have strawberry cupcakes, lemon cupcakes, strawberry and lemon cupcakes, red velvet cupcakes, brookies, and shot cupcakes. See a shot, take a shot, come by 2 or 3 shots. I hope to see you guys there. And that is all for the Paratisements tonight. Yay! Woo! Paratisements! Ah! Yay! Yep, clock them, Mylah. Clock them. Yep, you know. Fear. Alrighty, let's go ahead and we're getting ready to dive right back on in. So eventually, families in the United States started getting worried. They reported loved ones being trapped in Jonestown. So in 1978, a congressman by the name of Leo Ryan decided to investigate. He traveled to Guyana with journalists and concerned relatives. At first, Jim Jones acted friendly. But behind the scenes, members were secretly slipping notes to the visitors. Notes that said things like, please help us escape. And when Ryan tried to leave with defectors, everything went wrong. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry. As Congressman Ryan prepared to leave Jonestown, Jones ordered his guards to stop him. At the nearby airstrip, armed cult members opened fire. The attack killed Congressman Ryan and 4 others. It was the first time in U.S. history that a sitting congressman was assassinated. And after that moment, Jim Jones knew the world was coming for him. So hear me out. I understand there being a concern for people. Like people have a concern for their relatives, things like that. That was probably one of those things that the US probably should have stayed out of again. Because this is happening in another country now at this point. They've created another town in this point. As a congressman, I probably wouldn't have volunteered myself going over there. I wouldn't have did it. I wouldn't have did it because and it may be insensitive for me to think this way, but how I'm looking at it is y'all kind of chose to go over there. And I understand as somebody's family, you're concerned, you're worried. Like for instance, Mylah, if you went over there and against better judgment, and I told you leading up to it, don't go, and you still went. Yes, I'm going to be here concerned about you. I'm going to be worried, like, oh my gosh, I hope she's okay. I haven't heard from her. But in the same breath, I'm not going to send, you know, I'm not going to send people out there to get you because that's where you chose to be. How do you feel?
I would send somebody out there to get you. That's just me though.
My bad.
Yeah.
No, because like, so hear me out. My point that I'm making is that if I already tried to advise you, right? If I already tried to give you that wise counsel 3 or 4 times, Mylah, don't go over there. Mylah, don't go over there. Mylah, they don't even like us over there. We don't even know nothing over there. Don't go over there. Don't go over there. Don't go over there. And you still fix your mouth to tell me that you get ready to go over there. That's where you ultimately want to be. Yes, I'm gonna try to stop you, but I'm not gonna send the FBI across the water for you because I already tried that. You told me where you wanted to be. Uh-huh.
I'd still send somebody, regardless if you told me. That's like you telling me, oh, I don't know. That's just like you telling me some BS. I'm always send somebody.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
just me though.
Well, I'm just trying to make it make sense of sending somebody. Like if oh, okay, Jill. If I know, right?
Mhm.
Because sometimes, okay, for those of you who know Mylah knows Mylah, sometimes Mylah can be a little stubborn, right? If I'm telling you, Mylah don't do that, and you still do that, whatever the repercussions are of you doing what I told you not to do are the repercussions. Because you seem to want to hit your head.
Respect.
So if I said, Mylah, don't you get up on that plane and go to Guyana in South America. We don't know nothing over there. We don't even know if they have tacos over in South America. And you say, no, I'm going to go. I'm going to go because Mr. Jones said he's going to do this. He's going to do that.
Because my man going.
And you going to stick beside him?
Hello.
No, unclock it. No, because I'm telling you not to do that. You see, you see what I'm trying to get you to understand?
I get.
So I get what you're saying by I would have still sent somebody to check on you, especially if I ain't heard from you. I get what you're saying by that. But what I'm saying is if I done told yourself not to go over there, it's not a good idea, and you still proceed to go, you clearly want to be with that man. You clearly want to be with that compound. You clearly want to be in the gutter with them. Go. Ain't nothing else I could tell you to make you stay. Wait a second.
But you realize the more you tell somebody not to do something, the more they're gonna go do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just like
But that's where that person's discernment needs to kind of start kicking in.
it's not gonna
Because
kick in until they
if
bump their head.
if 6 different people are telling you this is not a good idea, that man doesn't seem safe. He seems like a manipulator. He seems like he's trapping you. Why do you have to give him all of your check? Why are you signing over the deed to your house to him? If 6 people are questioning his motives behind his treatment of you, and they're telling you or asking you, "What are you doing?" and you I mean, I'm suicidal. Praise the Lord with him. Yes, he's healing all the church members. He just made somebody get up out of a wheelchair and walk.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
I'm not.
plenty of females do that. People have to bump their heads.
Yeah. And unfortunately, unfortunately some heads got bumped. So let's go ahead and let's get into that. So that night after Congressman Ryan was murdered, Jones gathered his followers. He told them enemies were coming, that they would be tortured, and that death was the only escape. Then he introduced something called revolutionary suicide, a drink mixture of cyanide, bless you, sedatives, and a flavored drink mix. And here's the horrifying part. Children were forced to drink it first.
Hey, that sounds like off of Riverdale.
Where
It
you think they got the idea from?
it makes sense.
Makes sense. Parents watched as their own kids died in front of them. Then the adults followed, some willingly, others by force. When it was over, ooh, when it was over, 918 people were dead, including 304 children.
Mm.
Jim Jones himself died from a gunshot wound to the head.
Self-inflicted or what?
I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't give us if it was self-inflicted or if somebody inflicted it on him. It doesn't say. So let me just kind of show you guys again. This was the compound. Okay. The next picture that I am going to show you in the next graphic that I am going to show you is viewer discretion advised. If this is too much for you, please come out of the live and come back in like 30 seconds to a minute. These pictures are graphic. We do apologize for the graphic nature of these pictures. We just want to make sure that we're giving the full authentic story. We sympathize with the victims' families. We sympathize with people who survived from this and witnessed this. We do apologize. We're not making light of what happened in your trauma. We are explaining your trauma in a way that is understandable and relatable to others. So again, viewer discretion, beware. This is what the compound looked like after they drunk it. Can you see it on your end?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're viewing this, all of those bodies are the people that died. They drank that poison and they died. Here's a more spread out picture of what that compound looked like after. So now here's the question people still ask today. How could nearly 1,000 people follow one man to their death? The answer isn't simple, but experts say cult leaders use powerful psychology tactics. They use isolation, which is what he did when he moved them to Guyana, South America. They use fear, which is what he did when he told them enemies were coming. And the only way out or away from those enemies is death. Sleep deprivation, which again is what he did when he had his voice come on all day and night, all throughout the night. You can only imagine people trying to sleep, and then here comes his voice loud throughout the night. Public punishment, which is again what Jim Jones did when he would publicly embarrass the cult members or publicly shame them or punish them. And then false hope of things are going to get better. this isn't going to be a always and forever thing, or blessings are going to truly come down. You will always be in good health, good wealth if you follow and be a part of my cult. So over time, people lose their sense of reality, and Jim Jones perfected that system. So before we get into the final thoughts, do you have anything, Mylah?
Anything like what? My questions?
Yeah. Any scary parapees or anything like that?
Um,
Hang on. Do you have it?
yeah.
It's time for scary parapee. Go ahead.
Um, um, how did how do you think fear and isolation played a role in the People's Temple?
So I think fear and isolation played a role because so how did it play a role in this cult?
Mhm.
Well, he scared the people into believing that like enemies were coming. Once that congressman came to so-called save people that family members were looking for, Jim Jones was able to convince those cult members that more enemies were coming. He was able to convince and put fear in them that I just killed a congressman, a very important man in the US. So now more people from the US that are our enemies, that don't believe in what we believe in, that don't follow what we follow, those are considered enemies. Those are considered ops. They own the way.
Mhm.
They own the way. And originally, he thought he could just get away with isolation, which was him moving the whole entire cult, all 900 and something people, plus more people, because some people did get away. Um, but he originally thought I can just do the isolation part. I can move them to Guyana, South America, and isolate them from their friends and family and from in the people in the US, and we can go on about our lives. But that just wasn't enough. He had to scare them even more.
Okay, so this next one, once you
Mhm.
really think about it,
Okay.
at what
Hang
point
on,
does
let me put on my thinking cap. I'm ready. I'm sorry.
at what at what point does loyalty turn into losing yourself? Mm-hmm. I don't think you had your thinking cap on long enough for this. It's therapy, right?
um, at what point does
Loyalty
loyalty
turn into losing
turn
yourself.
into losing yourself?
No,
when
like
you
really
start
think
doing
about it.
when you start doing behaviors that are nowhere near you, when
Mm-hmm.
you start putting yourself in positions that you would have never put yourselves in before. um mm. The whole thing with loyalty is we want to express it in a genuine way because we want that person to know that we're loyal to them, we'll ride or die for them. But we begin to lose ourselves when we actually die for them. And I mean that not necessarily die physically, but
Die
when we
mentally.
put our you die mentally. You cross the line of loyalty into, you kind of go into infatuation, and that's how that person wins or gets you, because they have now manipulated you to think for the better benefit of them. Everything you do now you no longer think about yourself. You think more so of that person. You think in the interest of them. And it's not even an interest of we, because let me be clear, you can be loyal and be in a relationship with someone, and you can be loyal and in a relationship with someone and think for the benefit of we, right? We can do this. We will look good together. We. That's okay. When it becomes not okay is when you wake up in the morning and you're thinking, how can I benefit them? What can I do that benefits them? What can I change in my what can I alter in my routine to accommodate them?
But that's the thing. So when you do the whole we situation, how do you know that's not that person manipulating you to think we instead of separate and then become one?
Well, we should be thinking about we when we engaged.
Mm-hmm. So
Until
you
then,
don't.
and again, this is just my opinion. When y'all in the boyfriend girlfriend stage, I'm not saying be about self, but that's how you keep from losing yourself. And then you
Yep.
pour into we when y'all are engaged, because now y'all in it to get, like, y'all are we. Y'all we. Therapy.
So could you see yourself being influenced like that under the right circumstances?
Like by a cult leader?
Like a modern day cult leader, the right circumstances. That's not given a title of them being a cult leader.
Hear me out. I believe at one point I was.
Mm-hmm.
I believe at one point, um, I believe at one point I and for that it took for that person to go away for me to be like, I was being manipulated for the greater good of that person,
That's the
not for the greater good of me or we or us. It was all what can be beneficial to me.
if you put it like that, I feel like most male species do that.
Um, I'm not gonna put that jacket on men, on just men, because some women do it too.
But do you
Some
realize
women
they do
can
it
do it.
because it's got done to them or it got taught to them from whoever, you know, it got
I
taught.
feel like I feel like manipulation is a characteristic that is taught. But remember, um, when I first started therapy and we talked about manipulation, everybody is considered a manipulator. Because when you manipulate something, you manipulate it
To go
or
your
you
way.
change it, you bend it to benefit you and go, Jesus Christ. Sorry. You benefit for it to bend your way into and to go into your favor. Babies manipulate when they cry, when they whine because they want the bottle. That's them manipulating you to give you the bottle because they have a need that needs to be met, right?
Mm-hmm.
You you missed the test. You talk to your teacher. I missed the test because I was sick. This, that, and third. Cough twice. You're manipulating the teacher to do something to make you to let you take the test again to benefit you. Everybody, in my opinion, and again, I'm not a licensed therapist, not a licensed whatever, but everybody, in my opinion, can be considered as a manipulator. I feel that way. I genuinely feel that way.
So, do you think loneliness makes people easier to manipulate?
Yes,
Why?
yes, because when you're lonely, you're looking for that um you're looking for love, you're looking for affection, you're looking for attention, you're looking for when you're lonely, you're looking for
I
all of
can't
this.
smoke a blunt to that
Are you
because I
lonely?
feel like you don't have to be lonely to be looking for love.
No. And you most definitely don't. It's not just a love thing that you're looking for when you're lonely, but you're looking for some, like, oh, I'm stuttering. Like I said, you're looking for some sort of need to be met. So your loneliness can be, I need affection. Your loneliness could be, I need someone to talk to me. I'm
Mhm.
alone, lonely. I have nobody. So when somebody's giving you that attention, when somebody is giving you that, you can be easily manipulated into following them into more because you don't want that feeling to fade. They fed into your loneliness, they gave you what you were missing, and you don't want it to go away.
Okay. Last question.
Hmm.
Why do you think people crave belonging so deeply that they'll ignore the red flags?
Childhood.
Mm,
Childhood. Your
mm,
parent, somebody that raised you, whatever, did not make you feel like you belonged. They didn't make you feel like you were adequately enough to be a part of the family. Some people join cults because they are the black sheep of their family. If you really dive into these cults that we're getting ready to dive into, a lot of the people join those cults because they were the black sheep of their family, and their family treated them as if they were less than and as if they did not belong within their group.
I feel like they didn't run. Okay, I agree with half of that, but I don't feel like they ran to cults because they was an outsider or they was a black sheep or they wasn't loved properly by their parents. I feel like they it's hit or miss. Some people try different stuff. Some people run to drugs. Some people run to alcohol. Some people turn into
Yes.
workers.
Yes. So when
Some
we
people
do,
think
ooh,
it's like some people think it's okay to. It's not just cult leaders. Some people think it's okay to just run to find love or find what they missed from their parents from another individual. So it's just like it's not that
exactly.
person's not just a cult leader. It could be a non-cult leader, and they just run to the first person that
Yeah,
shows them what that feels like, and it's just like, oh,
for sure.
it feeds my dopamine.
For sure. There we go. That's where I was getting ready to go into. So, like we said, sometimes it's not a childhood trauma thing. You can come from a two-parent household, raised right. You went to college and everything, and and you had the one bad drug mistake, right? You tried it one time, you got hooked on it. Now
Mhm.
you want it back. You
Mhm.
meet this person. You don't know they're a cult leader. You meet them, but you know them and you befriend them because they start supplying you with a drug that you like the feeling that you're on when you're on it. So, when we dive into Charles Manson later on in a few weeks, that's how he got a lot of his cult members, was off of the ecstasy. It was off the fact that him and his cult family, they lived on a movie ranch, and a lot of the people during that time in the 70s, they were wanting to be movie stars and hippies.
Mhm.
So sometimes, actually a lot of the times with cults, cult members are kids, young teenagers, or young, like 18-year-olds that are fresh out of high school
Because they're easy to
trying to
manipulate.
find their way in the world. Huh?
They're easier to manipulate.
Impressionable kids. Yes.
Mhm.
Easy to manipulate. And did that answer your question?
Mhm.
Okay. So here let's go into our final thoughts. The tragedy of Jonestown remains one of the darkest moments in modern history, not because of monsters, but because of manipulation. Jim Jones didn't start as a villain in the eyes of his followers. He started as a hero. And that's what makes this story truly terrifying. If this episode gave you chills, make sure you follow the Scary Perry podcast, because next in this mini series, we're diving into another infamous cult leader, the man behind the Waco siege. Yes, we're diving into David Koresh. And trust me, that story gets wild. So until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and remember, not every leader deserves followers. This has been the Scary Perry Podcast. I'm your host, Parre T. You can follow me on Instagram at Parre T Management _, on TikTok at Parre P, and you can add me on Facebook at Parre Thompson. And you can also subscribe to the YouTube page at Parre P on YouTube. You can subscribe to us or follow us on Twitch at Parre T Management. And who do I have in the building with me?
It's your girl Mylah B. You can follow me on Instagram s.mylah_, Snapchat Smylah SMYLAH. I don't know my Twitter, but it's probably the same. Just add an extra S at the end, and that's where I'll be at. You can add me on Facebook, Mylah Wright, but don't get on there playing, cause you'll get blocked. Okay.
And is that it? You're all done?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, that's it. Yes.
This Sunday. Get in, loser. We're finna go to the podcast convention. $10 at the door.
Okay. Say it again. Say it again.
Get in, loser. We finna go to the podcast convention. 2 to 6. $10 at the door.
$10 at the door. And that's it. I feel like, hang on, I'm getting ready to get real with you real with you guys for a second. All of the city came out last night to support Cardi B. And I love that. It was a packed out show.
Sold out, actually.
Sold out, packed out show. I love that. Congratulations to her and congratulations to everybody that got to go. Now that you got to go to that, come to the Kansas City Podcast Convention this Sunday at the Royal Mansion from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. The Royal Mansion. You guys been to the Royal Mansion before.
It's your favorite spot.
It's your favorite spot. And if you don't know where it's at, it is 6240 Raytown Traffic Way, Raytown, Missouri, 64133. We'll have
right
Fatty
behind the
Foods
Wendy's on 63rd
right behind
Street.
the Wendy's. Yes. We'll have Fatty Foods there serving up some good soul food. I hear she's having oxtails and boudin balls. We'll have Treat Me Crazy. We'll be serving desserts and a few shots with the desserts as well. And we'll have a couple other vendors. We'll have Jessica Loves Edibles. So if you want a sweet edible treat, come to the podcast convention and get that. And then again, artists, tap in at the podcast convention so that you can get booked on these podcasts, so that you can get your interviews done. And I'll hope to see you guys there, because Parre T will be in town.
It's just $10. Y'all can do that DoorDashing. Get $10
no, for real.
Get $10
no,
doing
for
Lyft.
real.
The same money that you spend on Bud, save $10.
Yes. That's it. That's all. And I'll see you guys this weekend. Bye.